I wanted to take a minute and just talk about some real shit. Like, how are we doing mentally right now? How are you guys coping with everything going on, pandemic? You know, some people are going back into the world, re-engaging. How are we doing? How are you guys feeling? How are you guys doing? How is your careers going? How is your mental health going? Let's talk about it. No Biscuit said, had a depressive weekend, but we meditated, took control, and feel good. That's what's up. I'm glad to hear that. It's really amazing when you're not feeling good what meditation can do and how it can really change your mind. A lot of times when you're confronted with strong emotion, whether it be something that happened or just the way that you feel in a moment, maybe you got triggered and all of a sudden some old memories are coming up and resurfacing. Sometimes the best thing you can do is not react, not make a story out of it like, oh, I'm having such a bad day, everything sucks. But instead, be with the emotion. Be like, okay, right now I'm feeling something in my body. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know how to deal with it, how to work with it, how to be with it. But sometimes the best thing you can do is, rather than trying to change it, trying to resist it, trying to talk about it, sometimes the best thing you can do is just literally take your attention and just move it more into your body. And you'll find that that feeling is something that, instead of making a story about it, the thing that happened or whatever, you can just focus internally on the actual feeling you're feeling. When you do that, sometimes what happens is you just gain more insight about what you need. A lot of times those feelings that you feel, that discomfort, that turmoil, is just pointing you towards your needs. And sometimes self-care is nothing more than going into that feeling. Everybody's different, but for me, when I'm feeling uncomfortable, when I'm feeling triggered, when I'm feeling like something happened that I don't know how to process, the best thing I can do is just lean into it. Literally take my attention. Like, you know how you can be aware of your hand right now? Take that same attention that's aware of your hand and become aware of your chest. Become aware of your stomach. Become aware of your hips. Become aware of your legs. Become aware of your calves, and become aware of your feet and your toes. Sometimes that's all it takes to reset your energy, because we spend so much time in our thoughts and in our head trying to talk about what we feel or think about why things are going so bad. Sometimes it's good to just hit the reset button and just actually be aware. And then on top of that, sometimes it's good to separate yourself, maybe leave the room, sit down on a couch or something, and actually just breathe and continue being aware. When you do that, sometimes you'll feel like some kind of shift in your body, and sometimes you'll feel that energy move through. A lot of times the way it works is you might have had a communication with somebody. It might have not been a big deal. You might have not even noticed it, but in some way, shape, or form, it triggered you. And now you're going on with your day having these emotions. Even maybe the next day, it might carry over. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just pause, because it's in your mind. Somewhere, even if you're not fully conscious of it, when you're feeling that way, sometimes you're ruminating about the thing that happened. And that's creating the color of your day. It's like you add saturation to a drum loop. It's saturation on your day, but not the good kind. It's this shitty saturation. What you want to do is lean into it so you can fine tune that emotion. See what it's saying. Maybe that sound doesn't need saturation. You lean into it and you see what that emotion is trying to tell you. Because when we're making stories about it, when we're making stories about the feeling, you're in your thoughts and you're just perpetuating things that you don't want to feel. You're creating negativity in your environment for no good reason. It's almost a better thing to just sit with it, be with it, and let it process. And the thing that you realize in that, when you lean into what you're feeling and what you're experiencing, you'll realize that all it is just energy. All it is just a feeling. It's not a story that you made up in your mind. It's not that thing that happened. It's just something for you to process. It's something for you to look at and understand if there's something you need to do, if there's something you need to say, if there's an action you need to take, if there's something you need to change in your life, there's somebody you need to talk to, if there's something you need to address, if there's something you need to improve about your life or step up, it's going to point you towards that outcome. The emotional body is like your internal guidance. It's what's going to direct you in the direction that you want, in the direction that you as a greater being want, maybe your soul or whatever you want to call it. So your emotions are trying to point you in the right direction. So Instead of making a story about a thing that happened, lean into it and really like have a communication with yourself. That's where meditation's good. It lets you shut out the world and talk to yourself. As I've talked about before, the way you do that, I'll show you guys real quick. So a lot of people tell me, I'm not good at meditating. I don't know how to meditate. Meditating is not for me because I can't do it. Or meditation is some spiritual woo-woo shit. I like to just get right to the point. Meditation is just a way for you to reset your mind and body so you can be in more alignment with the goals that you have, with the relationships that you have, with the world that you're living in. A lot of people ask me, DECAP, how did you get success? How did you do this? How did you do that? A lot of it is mental. So what I'm talking about right now is it's not about tweaking Ableton plugins. It's not about the best DAW or Ableton versus FL. It's about how to retune your mental like you would tune a guitar. If your mental body is out of key and out of tune, you're not going to be making fire. So this is about tuning your mind so you can access your greater knowing, meaning like everything you learned in Ableton, all of a sudden you'll have access to it. Everything you learned about business, you'll have access to it. Everything you learned about life, you'll have access to it. All the best things, you have immediate access to it. And that's about tuning your mind so that can flow through more smoothly. It neurologically can help you process information that you already know instead of all these things getting in the way. So meditation personally is something that helps me with that. The way I do it is very simple. There's no mantras, no spiritual practice, no nothing, no bullshit. It's very easy. Everyone has their own thing. For me, my way, I always like to go to the simple way. When I'm teaching something, I go simple. So this is how I meditate. Number one, find a place where you wouldn't be interrupted. Try to find a peaceful place if you can. That could be in your car, parked somewhere where you won't be interrupted. That could be in the living room, on the couch. That could be in your bedroom, just sitting on the side of your bed. Sit down and just make yourself comfortable. Put your 2 feet on the ground and just sit up straight. Next thing you do is close your eyes and shift your awareness. Like, you know how I did that exercise, become aware of your hand? Like just feel your hand, feel your fingers. Instead of feeling your hand, use that same mental process to feel your chest, feel your stomach, feel your legs, feel your calves, feel your feet. When you do that, just notice like how you feel. Notice if there's anything that feels tight. Notice if you're holding on tight to anything, and you don't have to change it, just notice it. And put your awareness into your body. So you're not in your head anymore. Now you're in your body. Close your eyes and slow your breathing down to half speed. Put a half time on your breath. Just take a deep breath in, hold it, and take a deep breath out. Hold it, take a deep breath in. It could be for 3 minutes, for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes. And while you're doing that, what you're going to do is just be aware of how you feel, be aware of your body, and just stay in that state for a while. And then take note of how you felt before and after, and see how your music comes out after that. That's a trick. Retuning your mind is super important. It's like you have to tune a guitar, you have to tune an analog tape machine, you have to tune hardware. That's how it works.